Output Manager offers a variety of sources and destinations. In fact, when most people consider what would comprise sources and destinations, they would automatically think of printers and scanners. In this next demo, we're going to show you how to set up a slightly different source and destination that hopefully will broaden your creativity in how the system can be set up and all the options you may want to consider. To begin, we will start by creating a new destination. And while this seems a little bit backwards, the thing to realize is it's similar to the logic of needing to know where you're going before you can select a route to get there. So I'm going to go up to Destinations here and right-click and select New Destination. And the destination we're going to create is a network folder. We'll hit OK. And we'll give our network folder a name. We'll call it File Submission. We're going to use the same server for all of the setup. There's nothing we need to put in the comments and location. Those are optional. And then down in Folder Settings, we're going to select the location on this PC in the C drive, and then we're going to select OM folder. It doesn't necessarily have to match the name of our destination, so we'll just select it and hit OK. And so now OM folder is defined as the location for our File Submission Network folder destination. There isn't anything else on this dialog box or the subsequent tabs within it that we need to set up for this network folder. But just a little tip for future reference. If you're ever setting one of these up and you look at one of the fields and wonder whether or not you need to complete it or what its purpose is, a great tool to take advantage of is down in the bottom corner. If you click the Help button, rather than just taking you into help and then needing to search for a particular topic or particular word, our help button takes you to a page that is going to spell out everything that's on the dialog box that you're currently on. So we were just on the Folder Settings tab, setting up a destination, and it would go ahead and explain to you every single field, the purpose of it, the specifications that you would need to know, and so forth. So keep that in mind should you ever need to know a little bit more information and you're in the middle of a task. Go ahead and check out that Help button. Definitely a great tool. We'll hit close and get that out of our way. And like I said, we are all set on this dialog box. So we'll hit OK here. So now we have our file submission destination listed out here. We'll go ahead now and click on Sources and establish our source. All right, and we're going to go up to All Sources, right-click, and choose New Source. And this new source that we are creating is an email source. We'll hit OK. And we will name our source Email to Folder. And the purpose of this source is going to allow incoming emails to be processed by Output Manager, where the attachments on each email will go ahead and get placed into the folder without any need for manual intervention. We can leave the server in place. That's the server we're going to use. Comments and location are optional. I'm going to come down to protocol and set it up for how my system works. You will need to set this up for however you have your email configured. I'm going to have it auto-discover using an email address. And then what I would like it to do is check for emails every 30 seconds. And then once it has been processed, it will go ahead and delete the original message. This lower section, we could go ahead and pull from the original email a type of cover sheet or secondary document that will contain key information to allow us to match up to the attachments. So we'll go ahead and pull the from information and the subject, and we'll go ahead and pull the body, just in case there's any information that we need from those three fields to go with the attachment. Next, we're going to move to the Document Properties tab. And what we need to do is define a document owner. We can't leave this as none. So we're going to go ahead and process it using the domain users. And hit OK. And then finally, we're going to go to the Output Settings tab. And we want it to go ahead and process it today as soon as possible. And after processing, we need to route it to a destination. And that destination is our File Submission folder. You can see now why I need to take care of creating the destination prior to creating the source. Otherwise, I would get to this step and need to skip over it and return back later. And so we have set up our key parts to setting up a source. So we'll come down here and click OK. All right, we have our email to folder source set up, and we have our file submission folder destination set up, and it's a network folder. In order to unite these two, we're going to create a business rule. We're going to go up to Tools and click Business Rules. All right, we'll click Add. And we will name this Email to Folder. The description is totally optional. I'm just going to clear mine out. We're going to start by clicking on Target, and then select Document, Destination, Name. We're going to select an operation of is equal to, and then the value we'll get to select File Submission, and this is our destination. We'll hit OK. So our document destination name is equal to File Submission. Next, we'll come down here to Actions, and we're going to want to transform the document and transform Office files. And we're going to select our server. We're going to see that regardless of what file format it comes in as, it's going to transform it. And our follow-on action is to delete the input document. And we'll hit OK. And so what it's going to do is when an email comes into our source, email to folder, it will go ahead and process it, transform the Office file, delete the email, and then process it onto the File Submission folder. We'll go ahead and hit OK. And now our business rule is in place. Let's hit OK. Let's test out this new configuration. I'm going to open up a browser to be able to send an email. I'm going to address this email to our OM email to folder recipient. And we'll give it a subject. And we need to attach a file. And you'll notice that this file that we are going to attach is a Microsoft Word document. Through the process of running this workflow, we will actually see it convert to a PDF. And we'll attach it to our email and click Done. And so we are addressing it to the email account OM email to folder, which we set up. We are going to use this subject and attach this particular file. We'll go ahead and hit send. And it's sitting in our drafts. Let's go over to Output Manager and go to Sources. And we'll choose the email to folder source so we can watch for it to come into the system. And there we see it processing it, and then it was ready, and then it disappeared, but we know where it went. Let's go ahead and take a look in our folder. We'll come down here and we'll go to that OM folder, and we have test email.pdf and email to folder test file. This test email is our subject and from information that we asked it to go ahead and capture for us. And then email to folder is the file that was originally a Word document that has since been converted to a PDF. And that completes our test. In this video, we're going to show you how to convert a standard Windows print queue into an Output Manager queue. We're going to do that using the Device Wizard. To access the Device Wizard, we'll go up to the Tools menu and select Device Wizard. We're going to go ahead and convert Windows queues on one or more print servers and hit Next. And it just has us selecting our server. We'll just hit Next. And we're going to go ahead and do a complete conversion, which means it's going to automatically create a corresponding Output Manager source object as well as a destination object. So I'll leave that selected and click Next. Now it's asking me what file store is going to be associated with this Windows queue. And so I'll go ahead and leave that and click Next. And it shows me the queues that are available for conversion. Now I've got a couple printers out there. If I want to go ahead and convert all of them, I would just select all these checkboxes and in the drop-down switch to Convert. If I select multiple ones and then hit this Convert, then it will go ahead and save me from having to hit the drop-down 3 more times. If I don't want to convert all of these print queues to being Output Manager objects, then I simply just do not select them. For instance, in an executive office, perhaps you do not want to convert that printer into an Output Manager queue. So we'll just go ahead and select the one in the break room and hit Next. And it just asks again about how many printers need to be converted. And we'll hit OK. And our log informs us that this went successfully. We'll hit Close. Finish again. And now if we just take a look at our sources and expand that a little bit, now we see the break room printer showing up in all sources as well as in our destinations. And that's how you use the Device Wizard to convert your standard Windows queues.